So just raising questions.
Yes,
I am not
understand.
concluding.
Yeah.
Perfectly understandable.
Understandable. Now, what effect will this have on the proclamation?
Well, for me, the logical thing will be, if there's so many questions on vice presidency, proclaim the president. Our country, the show must go on.
Yes,
Our
yes.
country has to continue being run by the duly elected president.
Well, there is a statement from the Senate President as part of the presidential tribunal, electoral tribunal, that he is not going to get beyond June 15, and that's going to be his deadline. But there was no mention about the vice presidency.
I think the Speaker of the House, is that it?
No, the Senate
the Senate
President.
President is very feet on the ground. He sees how the wind is blowing.
Right.
So statement, because it should be a deadline. Stop the talk, blah blah blah. Continue counting.
Well, no, I'm not a lawyer, Loida. No, you are the lawyer. So what I'm saying, shouldn't this be done in the context of the exercise of suffrage in the Philippines? And therefore, if there is any question as far as the winner is concerned, then let the process of protests begin. Isn't that?
That's
shouldn't
correct.
that be right?
No, I agree. Yes, yes.
Or-
The protest is not.
Yes.
The protest is with Comelec.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Or there may be other issues, but we'll cross the bridge when it's there. But in the meantime, get it done and proclaim the president, so we'll have
Get
some
it
kind
done.
of a transfer of power and move on.
That's exactly
And
correct.
do not frustrate the common,
Right.
because that's the will of the sovereign citizen, right?
Yes, yes. As
Right
I
of
say,
suffrage.
Vox
Yeah.
populi, vox dei. The
Yes.
voice of the people is the voice of God.
Yeah.
So don't subvert it.
Now, how does this, you're also a business lady, how does this jive with your concept of business? I know politics and economics could never be separated. They always go together. But how do you look at the perspective or the prospects of a resuscitated Philippine economy in the face of this election and the worldwide recovery from recession?
Well, first, I don't believe that the recession really hit the Philippines hard. I think because of the $19 billion sent of foreign remittances and also a very, very strict banking laws, we did not participate in this default,
Right.
credit default swap, in this, subprime mortgages. So the real recession in the United States really didn't hit us that hard. But on the other hand, we are known as being the sick man of Asia because of corruption. So with the coming of a president, walang bahid, walang duda, meaning to say there has never been any form of corruption connected to
His name.
Noynoy
Yeah.
Aquino, then there is a perception now of the international investing community. Let's say, look, maybe they'll be able to straighten up. And if they do, we should invest.
But anything else that would come up as a legal question will have to end up in the Supreme Court. Isn't that so?
Yes.
And the Supreme Court seems to be stacked up with people of Gloria Arroyo's appointments.
That is true, but I would dare say that in the end, they are servants of the people. They should give service to the country and not to one person. So I'm calling on their sense of patriotism, on their sense of nationhood, that when things come on their way, they should decide it on the merits, on what is right and what is just,
But it's fair.
and what is fair.
Well, in that connection, we should let Loida read Shadow of Doubt.
I have read it.
Have read it?
I have read it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's devastating. It just cast,
Yeah.
it just cast a shadow of a doubt
Yeah.
on the integrity of the Supreme Court as presently constituted. I urge everyone who is listening here to go and buy that book, Shadow of the Wild, by Vito.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
She was our part of our panel.
We're promoting the book just so people
Right.
would know what is in the Philippine judiciary,
Yes, yes.
and how they work, how they think, and hopefully we'd be able to at least help in the positive changes.
Yes, definitely. Thank God we have Noynoy, and I'm sure his first appointment will be a person of integrity and character.
Okay, any...
No, I think with that book of Marites Vito,
Marites Vito.
at least that not only casts light on the shadow of doubt on the Supreme Court, but it also serves a kind of a transparent watchdog for them to behave at the very least and be conscious from now on that they're being watched.
I hope that's what's happening. I hope that that would be the case.
Yeah.
Because they are the last bulb of a democracy. You know, the Congress may, pass some, constitutional law. The president may do something unconstitutional. It is up to the Supreme Court to say, stop it. They have no integrity and no character. Then the whole framework of the skeleton of our democracy.
The framework doesn't hold.
Thank you. The framework doesn't hold.
Well,
As a sort of one this out, why do anybody who is smart might ask the question this? Better to do?
This is in the spirit of democracy. Okay? Idea is the test of the marketplace of ideas.
Right.
So we are talking about it so that other people that have thought, we have said, start thinking. And an informed citizenry is the spirit of democracy. So what we are doing here is, airing out different views so that other people who may listen to us can become better informed, and better informed, you become a better citizen.
now that really relates to the legislation that's supposed to be enacted today by Congress, and that is the
Freedom.
of information, right to information.
Freedom of Information Act.
Because
Really?
yes,
Right.
because that is supposed to give teeth to the freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of information for everyone. Especially from information from public sources, because this is a public document. You cannot just say, "Oh, executive privilege," and therefore this is a no. No, it should be. There should be a change. I think there should be a change in our concept of basic honesty,
Right.
our concept of ethics and morality, and our concept of implementation of the law. You can't have the implementation crawling at oil pace, going uphill.
And that's part of the start of a positive change in that ultimately everybody and all businesses and all people for that matter are stakeholders in good governance, in business, and the economic stability of the nation as a nation and people.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with both of your statements.
Any last that you'd like to impart to our teachers?
Yes, all I'm saying is that, don't lose hope, because the Philippines has really reached a light, the light of freedom, the light of integrity, a life of service. And that is embodied, I believe, with our new president, Noynoy Aquino. And so, all will be well.
Yeah. Okay.
Also well that and well.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well said. No debate. This is something we advocate over and over and over again. As we said weeks back, and in our television station, local television station.
Thank you, Mr. Santos. Thank you, Mr. Posadas.
Thank you.
Thank you.